10 seconds.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the View from the Dead Box. We don't even know anymore at this point. We are one finger away from Mike losing his whole hand.
One finger away from Mike losing his whole hand.
Let me see this dog. Look like a hot dog you put in the microwave for too long.
It's actually good. I got a Band-Aid on it. No, we're pretty good now. But it was pretty gnarly. It's kind of scarred down to about the end down there, but that was all filleted open.
Nice.
And the tip of the thumb was gone, but thankfully my tip grew back, so that's a plus in life.
How you cut it twice with the same knife?
Well, it was one through and through solid cut, thankfully. But it definitely left two different wounds. But I can finally move it now. It hurts really bad when I move it. That's quite painful, but I can.
Hey, it'd be fun.
Yeah, I did not have full emotion in the day for the first week and a half, and I was kind of like, "Ooh, this is a little concerning." Kind of like being able to move my fingers. So, Chris, what have you been up to, good sir?
Man, I have not been doing anything. I've been a bum. Played the last NXL Sacramento out in California, and we did terrible at X-Ball, like we always do. And we took first place in D3 5-man.
Isn't that the story of all y'all? Well, except for this past weekend.
I wasn't there.
We weren't there. We don't count that.
All right, that was. I mean, what our boy Payne was there.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I sent a picture to Wes. I don't know what he's doing in that picture. Payne has his pants pulled up to his, literally to his friggin' to his armpits.
Yeah,
that's awesome. It's I saw that picture and I sent him a message because I was like, I couldn't believe he was playing with somebody. And it was how many legitimate arguments have you seen me seriously get into with a teammate on a paintball field?
Oh, not many at all.
Not many. And if it is, it's very it's more of a conversation.
Yeah.
Well, someone on that VM line was someone who guested with me when I was guesting with the Georgia Southern guys, who he said something and I just turned around and I was like, I just ran down and shot 4 fucking people, dude. It was a 4-on-2. It was a 5-on-2. I killed 4 of them and then he went and got bunkered. The dude bunkered me and then ran through him. And I was like, dude, and he got all pissy at me. And I was like, the odds of Payne playing with him are so slim because they're not he wasn't near that event unless he's moved since then. I was just like, seriously? And so I messaged Payne and he was like, yeah, he was pretty argumentative the whole time. I'm like, yeah, I fully believes me.
Was this on the D3 5-man line?
It was whatever line Payne played with.
Well, he played one too. He played on the D3 5-man. Well, actually, technically 3. D3 X-Ball, D3 5-man, and the 10-man.
I think it's the 5-man. I'm not exactly sure. No.
Is his first name start with a J?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, that works for you.
Yeah, he's not a known member.
Yeah, I know he's not, but I was just when I saw that, I was like, ooh, that was probably problematic.
Now I gotta go look at who's on the roster.
No, Chris, he played with you in Sacktown.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, me and him did not get along. And it was the weird thing was after we had our blowout argument, I was trying to help these guys a little bit because some of them had really played, and it was just he would go do his own thing, and I'm like, God dang it! Now we're playing with 4 people the whole time because he was just hey, go to this bunker, okay, and he'd go somewhere else, and it's well, we thought we were gonna at least be there, whether you were alive or not, it didn't really matter because you were playing we were playing
building a game plan around that.
Yeah. And the next morning, somehow we made it to Sunday, which was. I have no idea how the fuck that even happened. And we are told to meet at the Planet Eclipse booth. And we're walking and I'm the first one there. It's 5:45 in the morning. And I literally see him walk up, look at me. He goes, nope, I'll meet y'all at the field. And he just fucking walked right on by. I'm like, you are a fucking tool, dude. Come on. And then we played a team from Fayetteville and somehow won our first bracket on Sunday. And then after that, I was like, these teams are too good for everyone to be arguing all day long. We will never make it past this.
Yeah.
And we got knocked out soon afterwards.
Jesus.
But when I saw that face, I was like, seriously? Like, that's crazy. But so Wes, how was your vacation?
It was good. Always great. Where you can just not have to worry about anything going on the field, which then now reading chat, it's like, I guess we should have been paying attention to what was going on the field. Fucking shit show.
Yeah.
It's so wild that all this shit that happens when we're not around.
Dude, it's every time. Last
Yeah,
time
like,
people were
hold
getting
everybody's
houses
hand.
shots and like
Say what?
houses got shot that one time.
Yeah.
This past weekend,
God.
people in bunkers.
Why you let them shoot the house?
Where do y'all freaking play at? In the ghetto?
No, it's like right on the outskirts of Savannah, but it's through woods, and some of the kids and walk-ons were like crawling their guns and test firing their guns, but they were shooting through the woods, like in the air, and they say they were shooting the back of the houses and stuff like that, which is very possible. It can definitely happen, but it's like I was getting yelled at for it, and Mike was getting yelled at for it. They're like, it's like, hey, they're saying we're shooting the houses. I'm like, well, nobody down here with us is shooting the fucking houses. They're not that goddamn retarded. Let's go ahead and go on the fucking record by saying that. But there are people that come here when I'm not here that, do their own thing that might be shooting that way. It's very possible, but none of my guys are going to aim at a fucking house and shoot their gun.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
That's
So,
funny.
but yeah, we get a call like yesterday at like
It was late.
6:30 or 7. And it's like, hey, somebody left the whole field pumped up and didn't pull the caps. And I'm like, come on, dude. Like, you fucking serious? Like, how's that happen? All of our guys already left, which is a no-no. If you have people there, one of our guys should be behind until everybody leaves.
Yeah.
Of some way, shape, or form. So it is what it is. But got a whole bunch of events coming up. We got the CPSL, got the MVPS, got the NXL. So I think I'm not sure what line we'll put in, if we'll put in a line for the CPSL besides the D5 guys. I think we're going to try to do another VM D3 X ball line for MVPS. I'm not sure about 5-man for that. And then obviously Cup. So got to start putting those lines together, start building something. I know, Chris, you're going to be playing with us for Cup, and you're being a bitch about MVPS right now.
Cup for sure. I'll let you know Wednesday. I'm having an MRI done on my shoulder. I jacked it up pretty good in Sacramento, and I thought, I've had that pain before from playing, and it'll go away, but it hasn't. So
did Jen just beat the fuck out of you or something?
No.
Put you in an arm bar?
No, not at all.
Omoplata? Like start crying?
Yeah.
So we got 3 events within like 2 months time.
Yep.
So tons of time to
should be fun.
Yeah, should be a lot, which is great because I have all my vacations planned like in between all these events. Like we just had this one, then we have another one coming up at the week of CPSL, then come back, go straight to the MVPS. Then we have, I think, a practice and Cup. So
I have a wedding the weekend of the CPSL, so I'll be at the wedding, and then I hope to go coach you guys. At least coach somebody at MVPS. Yeah. Whether it's you guys or the other somebody, I want to be there.
Yep.
But yeah. So Chris, you haven't been doing anything. Like, is that the last event you played was Sacramento?
Yes, sir. I haven't touched my paintball gun since, man. A lot of stuff going on. My kid
Sac wasn't crazy long ago.
No,
beginning of August, I think.
Oh, okay. How about before that?
Oh, I was playing all the time.
Oh, okay. Because I know sometimes Wes likes to talk shit, so you never play. So
I play more than most of the other people that Wes know. So that we normally hang out with.
That's not saying much.
It's not.
I try to play every weekend if I'm capable.
Yeah, us too. Oh, that's fun. I had a question from our good friend Chuck. I was actually supposed to call him on the way home so he could go elaborate on it more. But I'm going to rephrase this question a little bit. I'll read his original question. But I don't think it works well for this podcast, but it could be rephrased a little different. He says, do you think paintball needs instant replay for calls? I don't think that could ever work in paintball. So I'm not, you know what I mean? I just don't, it's too fast.
They used it this week. Well, they didn't use it. They had it this weekend for the NXL.
Did they? Okay.
Yes. So
I think just on the pro field though.
Yeah.
Yes. Stanzi was got shot. I think it was his name? I think it was. He got shot super early in the pack, and then runs up the field.
Oh no! It was Archie.
Archie,
was,
okay, Archie.
Got
he
hit
got shot in the pack, and then plays the whole game, runs up the center, and then dunks the last two guys, and then hangs the flag. Well, if they give him a dirty hang, and they're like, man, only if we could tell when the shot came, and they like back the camera up, he got shot in the break in the pack. It's like, well, fuck. Like he got shot instantly. And then they're like, which is the weird thing is Dynasty was up 2-0 and they gave him a dirty hang. And it should be a swing point for two things. It was a dirty hang, and there were bodies alive, but all the bodies walked off the field and eliminated themselves. And then they gave him a dirty hang. So the announcers are talking, they're like, man, this should technically be a swing point, and the Dynasty's not like arguing it. Yeah. And I'm like, damn. And then they go back and find out where the shot was, and it was on the break, and he ended up shooting like 3 fucking dudes. It's like, Jesus, that's a game. That's like right there. Yeah. Missing that hit. It's a game. That's what I always say. They always bitch about like, man, I thought I shot the guy in the corner, and they're always like crying about the paint bouncing or the paint breaking. I'm like, that one kill on the break can change the entire outcome of the game. They shoot the guy in the pack going up the center, boom, pull his ass, and plus they shot somebody else in the break. So that's kill 2 right there. It's a 3-on-5 instantly. You know what I mean? And then he doesn't go up the center and shoot 3 of your dudes. Yeah, like that's a whole different game.
Yeah, but I just feel like it'd be like, because paintball's a fast-paced game, I feel like it would slow the game down too much. Like almost like how like with baseball.
I would like to say that probably what would need to happen, and I talked to Trosen about this out in Sacramento, because we had a pretty shitty call where they pulled more players, or they didn't think we had enough players to pull everybody. I was still alive on the field, and yet they wanted to argue that point. I'm like, look, we watched the replay on the stream, and sure enough, 4 of us were online. So instances where it's going to be a swing point and it's going to close the game out. Basically we gave them the last point they needed for a mercy rule. So we didn't have a leg to stand on. I sat there and argued with him. And plus the guy didn't even get shot. She didn't know what the hell she was talking about. And we went back and looked and showed him, and he agreed that, it was a bad call, but what are you going to do? Like, well, yeah, but when it's something like a swing point that's going to end the match prematurely, then you should be the player should be given more than just the 2 minutes in between the next point to argue their point or come up with something. Not just say, all right,
it can be used in game-changing calls.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, I see where I agree. I think it could be used. I just don't know the best way to implement it. You know what I mean? Like, how do you, like, obviously what may be game changing to most people, like most people are going to know something that's game changing, but then somebody might say, I think this is game changing. And how, where do you put that line?
Well, you would have to determine what,
that's
like
what I mean.
I just said, if it ends a match, then
game changing penalty,
a call,
something major
that's
like
what
that.
I mean.
You just said that in the beginning. He got shut off break barely. I watched the replay. It barely sprayed off. There's no reason that, it's one of them hits that, like, okay, it's a minor because it's unobvious. But even, pack hits are always weird anyway.
Pack hits are weird because most pack hits, I believe, are felt. But when he's running like that, he might not have felt that pack hit.
No, it hit one of the empty flaps in his pack.
And he probably didn't feel that then. You know what I mean? No. Like,
nope. I don't think he had much paint with him at all. I think the plan was for him to run through.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bitch.
Oh, Archie's a goat, dog.
Nah,
slap you around.
He's a fucking bum. I'll slap him around.
I don't know I'll have to get the full story of what happened from Chuck, and we'll tell that on the next podcast. But something happened, I guess, with the Titans at the SPL. Yeah, I don't know if you know.
I was talking to Ken this morning. He said a bunch of wild shit happened.
Yeah, it was against the Bandits.
He said they were arguing about calls, and 2 different times in a row they went out there and argued calls and got the points reversed, and matches completely swung, and they ended up not making it out of prelims by 1 point. So
that's shitty.
Yeah, it kind of got fucked with some stuff. So I was like, gee, I was talking to Ken about this morning. I was like, well, it's supposed to be a call's a call.
Yeah,
what they call is what they call it. You know what I mean?
Well, that's my thing. What they call, I agree with that, and I agree with the head ref like backing their ref no matter what. You know what I mean? Even if it is the wrong call.
See, I don't agree with that.
See, I do.
I don't. I think if another ref comes up and goes, "Nah, man, you got that wrong," like, and they're in general consensus that the ref got it wrong, it should be, because refs see fucking shit wrong all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they should be like, oh, this ref says he's seen you get shot in the bottom of the foot. And then I've seen all the refs sit there across the field and go, no, or other refs there, or another ref from across the fucking field runs all the way around and pulls you for a penalty. And you're like, it happened to us twice at MVPS. It's like, this ref right behind me just walked up and called me clean.
Yeah.
And then the refs come in our pits and apologize because they made the wrong call. It's like, listen, dude, I appreciate the apology. That's great. Thank you for the apology, but you just fucked us out of a point. And they ended up ultimately fucking us out of 3 back-to-back points. And I'm like, you're giving us penalties on nothing. Yeah. There's nothing here. And the refs are calling us clean and checking us, you know? But that, you know, you could wish you can go back and look at that kind of stuff, or game altering calls for sure would be great, but it definitely would slow the pace down a lot. But so yeah, you couldn't maybe use it all the time, or maybe you could do it like the NFL does, like a coach gets 2 challenges a match, and he could choose to throw that challenge, and when he throws the challenge, you pull the replay up. You know what I mean? Obviously, you're not going to have replays on all the fields and stuff like that. It's just way too much money, right? But on webcast fields, you should definitely be able to go back and look at it and tell, oh my God, look at this, boom.
But so what do you guys think causes bad referee calls? Just them hiring substandard people to do the reffing, or they're not understanding, or they just don't care because they're not getting paid much? Which one?
The very first one,
I think A and C. I think A and C, yeah, for the first and the last one.
We had
the first one, they're in a rush to get people, and they don't either plan, or they plan to people back out, and they have just random ass people or players. Now I have definitely seen one-sided reffing. I've seen players that know and are friends with other players that let stuff slide or call stuff, you know what I mean? And that probably doesn't happen as much as you would think it does, but I've definitely seen that. But I think it's people who don't give a fuck and are standing there with a thumb up their ass, and they see pain on you. They're like, nah, I'm not going to call that a hit. And another ref comes over and calls, boom, oh, fuck, you got pain on you. That's a penalty. And I'm like, whoa, this ref just said I'm good to go. He's like, I don't care. I've seen you playing on. That's a hit. Boom, called penalty. And then you go, and you look at the other ref. You're like, dude, you just tell him you just called me clean. Like, you called this a clean shot, because you can overrule this dude because you're standing on my ass right now. And it's like, he just looks at you, get off the field. And then, you know, then it obviously turns into a meltdown. But yeah, definitely hiring people, substandard people that don't care, or, you know, or just there because they need $100 or $200. Like, well, fuck it, I don't have another job, might as well come here and do this shit. I mean, you know, we talked about the ref that you were dealing with at the event. I'm not going to call it out, but the event you went to, the crackhead dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like Jesus. Yeah, no shit. Dude. Yeah, Chris, tell him.
Bro, this guy was all like missing teeth. One of his buddies that had ref before brought him along for a body, and like he was there. He had jeans on, a long sleeve shirt. Then they put the jersey, the ref jersey, and the pants that Bunkerfest provided over the top of all that stuff. Didn't really drink anything, and he got dehydrated the first day. The second day, he didn't even bother doing anything. So, you know, he tried to do something the first day. The second day, he was just done.
That's just couldn't make it. Is Chris offered everybody, he bought all the rest Camelbacks to keep them hydrated, and I guess this dude did not say he didn't care.
He didn't bring it.
I was wondering why he's a heat cat a couple hours in.
I mean, we talk a lot of shit about refs sometimes, but there's no fucking way I'd ever ref an event.
No,
I don't think there's enough money you could pay me. Like, you know what I mean? You would have to give me so much money, you wouldn't make money at your event just for me to even like just be on the field, because that is so shitty. Who wants to like stand there all day and just get the shit shot out of him? Like, I mean, it's fucking miserable.
We had a guy. So this is how bad it got. We had a kid playing WCPPL. One of my homies ran to the corner behind me, got pulled instantly. We got to his bunker. The kid ran over, grabbed him, pulled him out. So you're hit on your pack. We get back to the pits. He had a broken ball in his pod, and he pulled him on that because he thought he got hit. Didn't bother going in and checking it. Just said, "Yep, player out." He's like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, I've had that happen to me before.
I've seen that on clear hoppers before.
Yeah, I actually called maybe Dylan or one of the other kids at the field, not last weekend, the weekend before, from a distance, I just saw the paint. And I was like, get out there, walking off. And they looked at me and they showed me the broken pot. I'm like, oh, well, you were getting ready to die anyway. It was a 3-on-1. So don't worry about it. But I actually saved your life.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But there are good refs, though. I mean, I know a lot of good refs. There's few standout refs, and I'm like, oh, cool. Thank God I'm on his field. Because if he is the head ref, then like I know he's got a good crew around.
And he runs a tight ship. Yeah.
Yes. Like if someone isn't reffing up to his standards, I imagine, obviously I don't know this for sure, but I would imagine he would go say something and say, hey, this guy is a shit ref, or give me someone who just meshes with my crew better. You know what I mean? Something along those lines.
Most event holders will go talk to their ref staff if they start having bad calls. Like, hey, look, I brought it up to Mike Hinman about that hit, and he's like, are you kidding me? He's like, all right, man, take care of it.
Yeah.
So, they go back and talk to these guys, make sure you get in, do your job, make sure there's actually paint on somebody. There was some calls there that were questionable. I got a double major somehow at that event. I don't even know what a double major is, but apparently on one play, I don't know how you manage that.
It's because you're a cheating piece of shit, Chris.
Yep.
Apparently.
I have another question from Chuck. And I think
that's the only one that listens?
No, these are just, Chuck sent me these today. These are two. Okay. He sent me like 30 minutes ago. I still have a whole list of other ones, but these were fresh in my mind. This one is, what should a player's first instinct be when they get hit? Should it be to cheat or not to cheat, is what he also put in quotations. I think that depends on what player you're asking.
Yeah, exactly. How long they've been playing, what they know they can get away with.
There we go.
Where's the hit?
Where's the hit?
If it's in my armpit right there, I could put my tank over it. Yeah, I pulled off some shady shit before.
Yeah. What about you? What's the first thing you do when you get hit, Wes? Does it depend on where you get hit?
I know. I mean, I guess it depends. If I get hit like in the knee pad with a knee and it's across the field, I usually don't even check it. I just keep playing.
Same.
And like in my head, I'm like, that bounced. Or I get hit on the elbow pad. I usually don't even check those. I just like, Jesus, take the wheel.
I agree.
Well, we're praying for a bounce here. That's who we're going with. And I look down, like later on, I'm like, oh, good, it did bounce off. You know what I mean? But
then there's a few that you don't. You go, oh fuck, I just shot 7 people.
if I got shot and I always do it. If I get shot and it hurt, I'm like, I should probably check that.
Yeah.
Oh, it got me. But if it just barely grazes me, I'm like, no, I'm gonna check that. That definitely bounced for sure.
I mean, we know some players who get shot and then flinch.
Don't.
That is the fucking wildest thing to me. Like, I can do it if I'm in my mind, I'm planning on, okay, I might get hit here. I'm not going to flinch. Like, you know what I mean? Like if I know, but if I'm don't have that like prepared in my mind, I will I'll move, I'll get hit and be like, oh shit, at the last second and then look. But some people, it doesn't matter where you shoot them. You can shoot them in the face 7 times. They're just going to go, it bounced, bro. Not even going to move. Like,
yeah. You're covered in paint.
You're covered in paint. Huh? Those are old, man. So Chris, what do you do when you first get hit? Do you actually check it, or does it like legitimately depend on where the shot was?
I think that's probably everybody who's been playing for a while does that. Yeah. If it, you get hit, obviously mask hits, hopper hits, you hear something click or clack, you're definitely like, all right, where the hell was that?
Yeah.
But yeah, if I got the opportunity, it's definitely coming off.
I mean, barrel and feet. Everyone knows me. They don't.
I think the last podcast they talked about, we won Chicago back in I think like 2018 or 2017. I had one on my knee and I jumped over a snake beam and like dropped my knee and fell over. Acted like I fell over because I got shot in the knee at one of my bunkers and I kept playing. I was going like Wes, and I looked down. I was like, "That's paint." Oh shit. So I was like, all right, cool. But jogged down, tripped, fell in a bunch of paint, and I got up and I had paint all over my leg. I looked at it and I just looked at the ref.
That's what I wanted a SPL and I had a hit in the between my soft ear. And the dude had actually shot me twice, and I could see the paint like dripping down inside my lens. And I was like, kept touching the outside. I'm like, no, that's good. And I ended up shooting like 2 or 3 guys. And I look over and like Shane is like signaling for me to go like hang the flag, and I'm like shaking my head like, no, I cannot do this. And he's like looking at me, I'm like, Shane, just go hang the fucking flag, because I see this paint. It's on the inside of my lens, and it's just a line. But if they check me, they might look inside where that paint's coming from and be like, oh, dude, you have a fucking shell all up in here, like 2 balls, literally. Like, I got whack, and I was like, oh, that didn't break. And then literally 10 seconds later, I'm like, oh, that broke. It's like blood running down in your eyes. I was like, that's fucking, I got a little miracle on that one. And then 2 matches later, we win. I'm like, well, sucks for those guys, you know? I did something similar to CPSL too. I got shot in the knee didn't flinch. And then I like looked down later on. I'm like, that's a fat fucking hit on my knee. So I just like dropped my knee and just played like that till you guys ran down and did everything. And I was like, well, that worked out well because that was there off the fucking break. I think it was Shane or Jamie actually shot me. I think it was a team shot. But I just was like, those don't count either. It's below the waist. I don't count.
You know what's fun? You know what's more
fun
fun than shooting players on the opposite team? Shooting your players that have a hit on them so you don't get a penalty.
Oh yeah.
Because they just turn around and look at you like, what the hell? Why did you
yet to do that?
Really? Oh my goodness.
I've never done that.
I will drop the hammer on you in a heartbeat if I see a fucking pack hit.
Oh, I kind of did the US.
Hit.
Yeah.
But that was a little different. That wasn't in a tournament. That was actually in a practice. That was to stop Wes from beating the shit out of people. Because it was like a miscommunication and it was turning to them arguing. So I just turned and shot Wes like right in his pack. And I was like, Wes, you're dead now. Get off the field. But it was because I saw what happened and I could see the whole thing. I'm like, fuck, I'm like the fly on the wall and watching these two have their miscommunication where like, I need to end this. And that was the quickest way I could think to end this. Let me just shoot Wes real fast. Like, because he'll leave for me and he'll be like, why the fuck did you shoot me? And then afterwards I can tell him why. And just to stop this madness from happening.
Yeah, what an asshole.
You would have killed him.
Not you, Wes.
Yeah.
I'm honestly a nice guy.
Says who? Your mom? Yeah, I'm sure she would.
I bet she would.
So
Wes, go ahead.
How about Dynasty winning this weekend?
Man,
Dynasty
fuck
won.
Dynasty.
Yeah,
fucking crusty bums. They didn't. Yeah, I know.
X Factor. Clowns.
I didn't get to catch anything to the very end. And I literally just saw
They
it was them, X Factor, and then Infamous took third.
Yeah. Glad Harmon's clown ass got beat down by my boys. Revo.
Is that who they lost to? I had no service in the match.
Revo, the fucking
I kept trying to
monster hunters. They were out there and just fucking shat on everybody. All the big teams and put them out. Houston Heat, put them out. Impact, put them out. Fucking who else they play to go in? Then they lost to Level actually, but Level was decimating everybody at the time. And then they went deep, played X Factor, but the problem was they were missing before even quarter started. They were missing two of their star players. They were running with 6 dudes, so they played quarters, or they played all the prelims, and they played ochos, quarters, and then by the time they got to the semis, they were just fucking torched.
Yeah.
Didn't one guy not finish the match? Like I think they were saying that like he just fucking came in, collapsed, and left. He's like, he's done.
Yeah.
You guys ran the dog shit out of me. I'm done.
Yeah, Zupa, every fucking point too. Zupa was in the snake on the break. Literally, he was the only one running it. I'm like, fucking shout out to Zoops. Zupa Loop was fucking feasting of the whole event too. They're missing some of their best dudes, 2 of their best guys, and they were just slapping people around. And luckily, that was an event like a traditional field style play out, and the teams like Level and Revo just feasted on it. They did amazing. I think Level went 4-0 in the prelims in a pretty tough bracket. It was good to watch, honestly.
Yeah, like I said, I caught literally the last 20 seconds of the Dynasty match, and I was like, "Well, cool. At least I get to know how this plays out." But
I think. Oh, and they beat Infamous.
Yeah, they did. Level did.
That's what put them against the X Factor. So.
So this is something I saved a couple weeks ago. It's from, or like a week and a half ago, I guess. It's from September 12th, and it's from iconicpaintball.com, and they've ranked the 50th greatest paintball players of all time. And how they ranked them was based off longevity in the professional league at a high level in the professional league, overall wins and world championships, individual skill and impact on the field, importance of the player to that specific team, overall impact on the sport, and cross-era effectiveness. I'm going to read you off their top 5. I want to see how you guys agree. Number one, okay, I'll wait.
We should take a guess.
Oh, okay, we can do that. We'll just
at the 5 or the top 1.
Top
the first
5.
one.
Top 3.
Oh, God.
Top 3.
You guys want to do top 3? Okay,
I'm
looking at the list. I think it's fairly accurate, is what I will say.
Here's what I think is going to differ. I, as number 1, am always going to pick Oliver Lang.
Okay,
but judging how you said
longevity
in the sport, not that he didn't play for a very long time.
Yep.
would make me believe that Ryan Greenspan would probably be number one
Okay.
because they probably have the same wins. If not, Greenspan at this point has more, and he's still with the same team, and he's played for another like 4 or 5 years extra.
And he's still at the top elite level.
And he's at the top of the elite level. So I would
Leatherface.
I would say at the number one, that would probably have to be him.
Okay.
Chris, who do you think?
I would agree.
Okay. Let's hear your number twos. I'll tell you. Y'all do the top three, then I will tell you. Like I'll probably tell you all the top five.
Okay. Two.
Maddie.
I mean, that's
players wise.
That's a fair guess. I believe he went pro in '96, so that's still a pretty long run.
Yeah. Number two, probably gonna say, maybe Thomas Taylor is probably gotta be the top three, I would think, because he's been with Infamous the entire time, basically, or not Infamous, but
excessive.
But they turned into Infamous, so
pretty much. Yeah. So number three.
Yeah, I would probably say Ryan. I would definitely put at least 3 players from Dynasty in the top 10. Fragey.
Yeah. You could also take
y'all are gonna love this list.
Yosh Rao.
Well, hold on. Who's your number three? Is number three Fragey or is it Yosh?
I said
number
Ryan,
two. All right, hold on, I'll take that back. Number
Oliver.
2, I'm gonna go with Oliver Lang for number 2.
Okay, so you're gonna go with Oliver for number 2.
I went with Oliver for number 3.
And number 3, I have to go with somebody different. There's no way they give Dynasty the top couple spots. So they would have to go with all jokes aside, he's been a long time, but not that crazy. But all jokes aside, you could say Harmon because he's played with a lot of fucking teams and he's played old school and he's grown up and played through. So I'll just say Harmon at this point because technically he does play for Heat and he played for a lot of other teams too. But
this was fun. I almost want to read off this whole list. I almost want to do this in increments of 5.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna read off this whole list, but I will tell y'all the people you put. I'll tell you their numbers, but this might be something we touch on over the next couple of weeks. So both of y'all pick number 1. Ryan is correct, and I think that's fair.
Yeah.
And number 2, Chris had Maddie.
Yeah.
And Wes had Oliver. Number 2 is Oliver.
Yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't disagree.
I wouldn't disagree either. Maddie he's on.
Oh, he's scrolling deep.
Yeah, Maddie's on. It's 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I think that's a fair ranking for him. I think he could be a little higher in my opinion because he's had an impact outside of the sport, but you know what I mean. So I don't know how.
Thomas Taylor in the top 10.
I don't see him on the. Yeah.
Yikes!
He is
list
31.
Is wrong.
That
list is wrong.
Thomas
okay,
Taylor
read us the
30.
top 10.
But anyway, so your number 3 is Chris Lasoya. And Wes went with Harmon and you went with Oliver.
I was thinking Chris.
Yeah.
But he have that long of a he had a long run, but he didn't play a lot of new age ball.
No, I mean he probably stopped in, I'm guessing, I don't know, someone probably knows, 2011, 12-ish, 13. I don't know. I'm just saying around there. But
I don't know that he was playing events because I played the last NPPL. I saw him there, but he wasn't playing.
Yeah. I mean, so I don't know how, but that's what they put you. So your top 5 is Greenspan, Oliver, Chris Lasoya, Fedorov, and Goldman. That is your top 5, which that's a pretty solid top 5. And you had said Harmon earlier, they gave him 30.
30?
So, 30, yeah. They put Tyler Harmon 30.
My pick was better than yours, bitch.
30.
With Maddie.
Yeah, this list is pretty. I mean, it's.
Who are the next 5?
The next 5. So 6 is Todd Adamson. I actually don't know much about him. So, and the number 7 is Mishka Kevshnev. I can't say that last name, but one of the Russians. Number 8 is Angel Fergoza, which I think that's a pretty fair spot for him.
Nice.
Number 9 is
over Alex.
They did. Marty Bush is 9. I'm not overly familiar with him either. I've only ever heard that name tossed around, so I'm sure it's an older player that I'm just not super familiar with. And number 10 is Archie. I think that's a good spot for Archie though. again, this is a hard list because paintball's so small. All it takes is you to do one thing and you could shoot up, 5 spots on the list or drop down 5 spots. And you asked for Angel. Well, I'll go ahead. Number 11 is Bob Long. It's a decent spot for him. And number 12 is Alex Frazier. So since you were asking about Alex earlier. But this is, I don't know. We'll probably touch on this more in the upcoming ones. Do you have any names of someone you want to just know their number if you spin them out?
Who's the last one on the list?
Maximus Lindquist.
Oh, good.
But so that's 50. There's not a lot of pro players, but these are like the significant ones, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
how about Rich Telford? Is he in there? Probably not.
Oh, I'm sure he's on here. Yes, he is. He's number 26.
Nice.
26.
Yeah.
They say he's more important than Thomas Taylor himself.
They do.
Okay.
They do.
That's
Marcelo got 25. So
that's laughable.
Yeah, it's I think it's for the most part it's a good list. There's a handful of players. There's probably 4 or 5 that I have no idea who the fuck they are.
How about Dick Licker, Todd Martinez?
Is he not on here?
I
don't think he's on here. Hold on, let me search the page just to be sure.
Oh my goodness, Todd, you suck.
Yep.
No, he's not on here.
Shit on you, fucking bum.
Yeah, he is not on here. Guess who's number 49?
Who? Me? Oh, cool, man.
Tom Cole.
Tom Cole.
Tom Cole.
Come on, man.
He played a lot of ball back in the day.
He did.
He played a
Bad
lot of ball.
Company.
I know. I heard the
All right,
story
hold up.
whenever he was on podcast, Ryan's podcast. They were like talking, and Ryan talks about when he was a kid, just becoming like stepping into the league like that. They grew up beating fucking Tom Cole's team in the dirt. He said, I remember slapping you around when I was like 14 years old.
Hey, just go down the list. It's 50-50. We already got the top 5. Just go down.
All right, whatever. So
run it.
13, John Richardson.
Oh, go.
Okay.
14, Shane Presta.
Okay.
Prestana, sorry. Yeah, I apologize. 15, Yosh Rao. 16, Frank Cannell. 17,
Frank
Ron.
Connell, the beast.
17, Ryan Moorhead. 18, Fred Schultz. I don't know who Fred Schultz is.
I don't either.
19,
Not the guy who did the Peanuts.
No.
Oh, that's Charles Schultz. My bad.
Alexander Bernikovs. That's one of the marshals. Number 20, Matty Marshall. Oh, this is a good one. 21, Rocky Cardoni.
Hey, what was Malloy?
He's not on there yet.
Yeah, he's not on here yet. 21, Rocky. 22, Billy Bernacchia.
Billy Bernacchia, the GOAT.
23, J.C. Whittington. 24, Travis Lemensky. 25, Marcelo. 26, Rich Telford. 27, Justin Rabakov.
J-Reb.
This is one of the Russians. Richard Malinetsky. I don't know who that one is.
Must one of the OGs on Russia.
Yeah. 29, Nikki Cuba. That's a decent spot for Nikki Cuba.
Yeah.
30, Tyler Harmon. 31, Thomas Taylor. 32, Chad George. 33, Tim Montresor. 34, Dave Baines. 35.
40.
Yeah, I thought that too as I was reading over it. 32, 33, Tim Montresor. 34, Dave Baines. 35, Billy Cernansky.
Billy Cernansky.
Yeah, I can't say it. 36, Brian Smith. 37, Garrett Noblet. I don't know who that is.
I don't know who Noblet is. Smith was on Dynasty.
Yeah. 28, John Marquez. Oh, this is a good one for 39, Davey Williamson. That's a decent spot for him. 40, Kevin Rudolph. 41, Mike Carey. 42, Brandon Short. I think that's a decent spot for Brandon Short.
He should be higher than that.
I don't know.
There's some motherfuckers in there that I never heard of that you're talking about.
Well, yeah, that I agree. I'm assuming they're like.
Yeah, but these are all like from like the early hyperball, early air bunker days.
That's not really paintball.
I mean,
that is fucking paintball. That's
you're not going to think number 43 should be on the list, and I actually agree with it. Neil Eberly. It's one of the excessive guys. Spresh Robinson, 44.
Speech.
I don't know that one either. 45, Rainey. 46.
Rainey's 45. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
he's
pretty new.
Yeah.
He's pretty new, but the dude is
But see,
playing.
especially be hard, but he's still playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. 46, Marcus Nielsen. 47, Mike Bruno. 48, Jason Edwards. 49, Tom Cole. And 50, Maximus Lindquist.
51, Chris Cox. Hey, what?
51,
Hey!
Chris Cox. Yeah, that'll be on the next list. And if anyone's interested, if you just go to iconicpaintball.com, you can find this, and they actually have each player broken down.
They just did a whole write up on Marcus Nielsen.
Yeah,
I was going to ask you, like, is there a way to go in there and basically put this in a spreadsheet and grab all the snake players, all the twos on the corner, you know, guys where they played in what positions to?
I'm sure somebody has no life they can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, it sounds like something for you there.
For you.
No.
Well, gentlemen, that was fun. That was I had no idea where this podcast was going to go tonight.
Yeah, that was weird. I could tell.
I was just like, we'll see how this one plays out. I'm not too sure. But Chris, do you have anything else, good sir?
No, man, getting old sucks, dude.
Getting old sucks.
Take care of yourself.
It could be worse though. It beats the alternative, right? That's what all the old people say.
What's that? Being dead?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not
You're
like
not
even halfway through my life. I don't think.
How old are
Debatable.
I'm 47. I turn 49 next
yeah.
month.
You're definitely
48.
your life.
Yeah, you're 47. You turn 49,
49 next
We're
month.
putting your ass in a fucking home next week.
Yeah. What do you mean you're not? You think you're going to 100, huh? Huh, Grandpa? 100?
Hey, man, I can. Don't fucking doubt me. I'll fucking come. I'll come snap you up, you old snapper.
I always say old is 45 because if you double that, that's 90, and most people don't make 90. That's how I get my.
How do you feel now, Chris? You fucking bitch.
I feel great, minus my shoulder.
And my
well,
back.
I hope you
leg.
make it.
My back's actually been good for a long time. So, yeah, man, I just hope I get to keep playing at least for a couple more years. I'd like to, you know, get in better shape. A lot of shit's happened this year.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. Just got to bounce back.
You'll be
Yes,
here.
I've been a bitch.
We'll let you play till 90. That way Wes can't quit. But Wesley, I tell anything else, good sir?
That is it.
That is it. I will take us out of here then. Thanks for listening, watching, buy merch. I'm finally back in the merch store. So someone bought some of the shitty socks I put up there. I have no idea why people buy some of these random ass things, but it's pretty fucking funny.
You're gonna find your mom has an entire life.
Oh, can you imagine? That would be the fucking best thing ever. If she buys shit and just doesn't tell me.
For
Sometimes
Christmas,
she buys
just
like
comes out fully just stunting it.
she buys random shit for like my grandma for like Christmas, like a mug or something like that. But
Yeah.
some of the stuff I never
Imagine
see.
buying your grandma a mug, your mom.
I know, right?
Hey, mom, happy Merry Christmas. Happy birthday. Jesus.
She's like, yeah, you know, it's easy. Well, she doesn't know what's going on. She can't remember, so it just works out well.
I hear you.
But all right, guys, I'll see you guys. Peace out. Later.
Later.